is trying to bring something, a diversion right now. Or he was trying to bring a diversion. And the media in Uganda are giving him a lot of mileage. That is putting an amendment to the electoral reforms. He had, since he was the leader of opposition, to do all this. The most powerful point when it comes
we ask for the other political prisoners, Besigye, Agatha, who are going through torture now. Uganda is a country where torture is the key word. Corruption and corruption. All we beg from EU is to stop funding our torture, to stop funding our death, to stop funding our murder, to stop funding for the imprisonment, to stop funding the inhumane way the junta is killing us. People power, you are not awake. People power, our power,
by all means.
People power,
remove that age limit.
Our power,
Again, and by all means,
Kunga Bobby Wine,
but if the age limit cap
Kunga Sajirinya,
47 out of the bracket,
Kunga Bobby,
so the
Z Mpuga,
anything
Mpuga Z.
Age limit,
let's think that Mpuga, you will face the same and worse death, worse than Segirinya, who was tortured by the regime. And then you come again around and think the death of Segirinya benefits you financially. You wanted to make money out of Segirinya death. We are asking EU, if you were not to provide funds, it would help, and we can fight the junta without resources. We are not saying give us the money. Intervene by not giving any money to the junta. The rest is up to us to take him on. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. People power. We remember Segirinya, Kunga Segirinya. There's no best way we can remember you. Kunga Segirinya. Fight hard, Segirinya. You've left us on the burning earth. Everything is burning around us. You are watching us. Kunga Segirinya. Kunga Sheikh Muzata.
Because we
Kunga Segirinya. We love you wherever you are. Ziwanika. Zibuga. We are asking EU. The message this evening is stop funding the dictator. Stop funding our murder. Stop funding the dictator. He uses the money to kill us. He uses the money to imprison us. He uses the money to buy equipment that kill us. He uses the money to enrich himself. He uses the same money to take us to our grave. He's never built a hospital. He's never built schools. He's never built the roads. So stop funding the dictator. Once you stop funding him, we can take him on. But with the money you give, he buys the guns, he buys the uniform, he buys the boots, he buys the military cars that kill us. So stop funding the dictator and intervene by not providing money. You don't have to give that money to us. The people you see here are all well resourced. They have skills. From anything to anything. We have the skills that can take us back to Uganda and contribute to a better Uganda. But the corruption in Uganda is escalated by you. The more money you give to him, the more he steals us. His brother is the governor of Central Bank. The wife is the minister for education. She's never been to school. She's the minister of sports. She's never even run 2 meters from her house. So please stop funding the dictator. People power, our power. People power.
Take care, man.
Kunga Sagirinya. Kunga Aaron Chiza. Kunga Sagirinya. Kunga Vesije. Oh, thank you for listening. Inge Noria, the Trompita. Neda to fight. Babi, can I read that? A root of Majo Kutabukira, the wounded Kunonya Winaraga, Chovaka in Sigawan. What do you call that? Sigana, the toilet, name is Sigano. Ntia Owago, system you know. Ndeka. He's betting under the upset. The trade Cadwali Mupabu, come on with it. Ah, Zavutua, with your yes.
People power. Our power.
Fight, Honorable Seginya, fight!
Fight hard, Seginya.
Fight, Honorable Seginya, fight!
Fight hard, Seginya.
Even in your days, fight! Even on your grave, Honorable Seginya, fight!
Is fighting.
Fight all comrades who are murdered innocently, fight! We want justice for Honorable Seginya and all many thousands and thousands of victims of Dictator M7. Fight hard, Honorable Seginya, fight!
Fight hard!
Don't rest until you get peace.
Fight harder!
Dictator M7 must go!
Museveni must go!
Dictator M7 must go!
Museveni must go!
Seginya should be a starting point for Museveni to go.
Yes!
The people of Uganda, if we honor Seginya, Honorable Seginya, and other victims,
they should rise up.
He left a will that when these people kill me, you know they have killed me. You know where to start from.
Yes.
The same applies to me. If this regime killed me, you and you and you are going to stand up and rise and chase all these dictators away, the Museveni and his son. Museveni must go. Honorable Seginya, we command us, we are already fighting. Honorable Seginya, fight hard. We demand that the EU take action to the Ugandan regime to free people who have been charged, who have been put on trumped-up charges, like Bobby Young. Bobby Young is in jail without trial for wearing like I am here. And the regime in Uganda does not have a law that prohibits people to wear like I am. If they want to arrest anyone who wear like me, they should start with His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Bobby Young and many other political prisoners are being held innocently. Their rights taken away from them just because they were like this. We demand the EU to put pressure on the regime in Uganda to release people who are being trumped up charges like Bobby Young and many others who are not known. Bobby Young is just only a fraction of thousands, of hundreds of the youth that Museveni is scared of, that he's putting in jail for no reasons. We demand that the EU take action on all these cases. Another thing, we demand that the EU put pressure on people who are doing the work of Dictator Museveni, like Baram Barugahari. They went to prison and convinced political prisoners to accept charges. To accept charges that they have committed, but they did not commit. We ask that the EU put sanctions on Baram Barugahari for interfering with justice. Baram Barugahari, the so-called Minister of the Youth in Uganda, Museveni's agent, he went to prison and convinced political prisoners to accept charges trumped up charges. And now, one of the comrades who has suffered in prison, a Ugandan, called, what is his name? Sanya has exposed the regime that they made an agreement that if he accepts that he has committed these charges, he will be freed. And indeed, Sanya agreed to that terms. He accepted the charges he never committed. However, the Ugandans follow up and they know that this was just a coercion. Sanya was being deceived, was being betrayed by Baram Barugahari and convinced so many other political prisoners to claim that they committed these crimes. So, for that reason, the Minister for the Youth, Baram Barugahari, we call the EU in Uganda, the EU, to sanction Baram, to stop, to give him travel bans, to stop him from coming to Europe, to stop him from coming to the UK. Baram Barugahari, and also Muhammad Nsereko. Muhammad Nsereko should not be allowed to come to the UK because he is also one of the Museveni agents. He is the one who was misleading people about the issue of Honorable Segirinya. This Muhammad Nsereko. We call the UK government, the EU in Uganda. Also to mention Mpuga. Mpuga is a corrupt former leader of opposition. Now he claims to be a commissioner in parliament. Mpuga is not the commissioner of NUP. It is Honorable Zake, not Mpuga. We ask the EU also to add Mpuga, the former leader of opposition of NUP, to also put sanctions, to put power ban on him for corruption. People power, our power. We ask for the EU to immediately respond to the president of Rwanda, Kagame, admitting that he himself and Museveni are the one funding M23. We ask that Museveni should be indicted to ICC immediately. If the EU actually are serious about what they are talking about democracy. The issue of M23 has now been transported from Congo to now fully operating in Uganda. We warn the EU, we give warning to the EU, to the tourists that come to Uganda, that Museveni does a false flag operations, that he has terrorists like M23, but Museveni himself is the founder, that Museveni has ADF, but Museveni himself is the founder of ADF. The victims are tourists, and the victims are Ugandans. The latest victim of Museveni is Honorable Segirinya. He was poisoned because Museveni is a terrorist. Museveni is a terrorist in uniform, and the people have been lied to all over the world. The EU now should now know that Ugandans have been telling EU and the UN that Museveni is the one funding M23. And now the president of Rwanda, Kagame, another dictator, has admitted, he came out and said that M23 comes from Uganda, confirming what we've been telling you all along. So take actions. If the UN report says Kagame and Museveni are funding M23, so should the EU. People power, our power. Segirinya, fight hard. Fight hard, Segirinya. Ugandans, fight hard. Fight hard, Ugandans. Ugandans, we are blessed. We are in 2025, another opportunity to remove Museveni lawfully. Ugandans, wherever we are calling for a protest vote. Fight hard, Segirinya, fight. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Museveni must go. Museveni must be arrested by ICC for killing people like Honorable Segirinya, for funding M23 that has killed Congolese and Ugandans, for the killings in Somalia, because Museveni himself is a terrorist that is being funded playing data games because he gets money to gain political influence. The EU must know the reason why Museveni has been getting political influence, because he volunteers the UPDF that commit these atrocities. Must go. Museveni must be arrested by ICC for killing people like Honorable
Bannayuganda abawangalira mu ggwanga lya Bungereza basitukiddemu ku nsonga gya M23 esaanyawo Bannayuganda, ng'eno Kagame baatugamba nga yagifandinga naye yatuuka n'agyegaana n'agamba lwaki abagirimu Bannayuganda ate era nga bakwatibwa Uganda. Kitegeeza Uganda yennyini ffe twekolako obulumbaganyi, ye bino tabiriimu. Naye nga Museveni tumumanyi bulungi nnyo nti buli nsi ebaamu obunkenke ayanguwa mangu okugamba nti abawe ku bantu babalwanirire. Ye alina amagye mangi ageesiga. Naye ate we twogerera ekiri mu Uganda, Bannayuganda bafa enfa ey'ekifiiriza. Bannayuganda bafiira ddala mu ngeri etategeerekeka. Bannayuganda bafa enfa etategeerekeka. Bannayuganda ab'enjawulo, bannabyabufuzi, abantu ba bulijjo n'abo abaagala enkyukakyuka. Gye buvuddeko omubaka Segirinya yafudde, naye ng'ate obulwadde bwe bwatandikira mikono gya gavumenti, kubanga tujjukira bulungi nnyo nti ne bwe yali mu kkomera yali mulwadde n'asaba ne kkooti okumuwa beyiro asobole okugenda okujjanjabibwa. Wabula bano kintu kye baagaanira ddala era ne bagaana okugimuwa, ekyamuviiriddeko obulamu bwe okusaanawo. Mu ggwanga lya Congo abaziika abantu bangi, naye nga bano bonna M23 ye baviirako okufa. Ekibuuzo kiri nti M23 y'ani? Ani akulira akabinja kano? Ani akafandinga? Kubanga ko kabeerawo. Kubanga twalowoozanga nti ka Kagame, wabula yavaayo n'akeegaana n'agamba lwaki ababeeramu Bannayuganda. Kati ekintu ekyo ne kiba nga kiddidde mu Museveni. Wabula wano e Uganda teri afaayo oba tuli mu bumenyi bw'amateeka oba tuli mu mikono mituufu. Buli omu yeekolera bibye by'aba ayagadde.